So this session is cherishing each other along the way. And in it, we amplify the importance of getting negativity out of your relationship and bringing a different spirit of appreciation, cherishing, and love in every transaction.
When we first fall in love, we're very connected with a positive energy. That's what feels really good. Then gradually negativity creeps into the relationship, and negative energy calls our attention more than the positive energy.
And we got in the habit of doing our partner a favor by pointing out all of their problems and telling them how they needed to shape up in order to come across better in the world. And it became just a real ingrained habit in our relationship that we were doing our partner this favor by offering this constructive criticism. And that kind of habit can really kill the love in your life and really deaden your relationship.
So what we decided is that we would take that to heart and go cold turkey with ending all negativity, meaning anything that was a put down to the other person, just from mild to severe. And we started that, and I remember that it was about 3 months we didn't have a whole lot to say to each other. And it was also an indication of how much negativity was in our relationship.
So we almost have to intentionally move into joy energy.
One of the ways that we invite couples to do that is to develop what we call caring behaviors. And they do that by looking at behaviors they exchanged when they were early in the relationship, in the romantic period, that were caring, like, he brought me flowers, or she brought me a cup of coffee every morning, or rubbed my back, all kinds of things that would indicate I care for you and care for your welfare and want to give you pleasure. And those things, especially that they're not doing anymore. It's like it kind of drops off by the wayside.
You can go back to that wellspring of life and passion and good feeling, and that can feed you that memory, in times that might be a little rough going.
The other thing to get is to pay attention to the behaviors that's positive that's going on in the relationship now, because for most couples, about 90% of their relationship, 80 to 90% is really okay. It's the 10% or 20% that's not okay that causes all the trouble. So you look at what is going on now and the things that you're exchanging that are caring behaviors, and write them all down so that you can get a really strong and clear picture of what caring behaviors you have exchanged in the past and what behaviors you are exchanging now.
It's so important to clarify your partner just what it is that will feel caring to you. A lot of us feel like, well, if my partner loves me, he'll know or she'll know. And if they cared, they would do so-and-so. And that's a way to not get what you want. You actually do have to clarify for your partner what touches them.
We call it target-specific behavior. Here's my heart, here's what would touch it. Describe that. Send your partner that rather than what you think they want or what you want them to want. Send them what they actually asked for, and that's what touches the heart. It's like giving up mind reading for listening.
It's a whole different way of life to try and intentionally and consciously think, geez, I know my husband, I know my wife, this is what they would like. I wouldn't want this, but all right, I'll go buy it, or I'll get them a gift certificate so they can go buy it. And that's actually been a huge piece of the work. Yeah. To really gift someone something that they want and that would be important to them and mean something to them, not something that you secretly want.
It helps us to step up to being assertive and not to have this fantasy that my partner will know what I want if she really loved me and would do it naturally. No, she won't do it naturally.
It seems it's important to set up some frequency, something like 5 to 20 caring behaviors a day. And that begins then to create a positive energy in the relationship that is a replacement for the negativity.
It's important to consciously make an effort to bring fun into your relationship. Harville and I love our work, and we love our children, and we love being good citizens, and we can fill our lives with other things and neglect bringing joy into our relationship.
Fun, as we are talking about it, is not recreation like playing tennis, but fun is something that produces a belly laugh, and it's so, it's an intense reaction, not just a kind of activity.
And it's important because it actually helps create new neural pathways in your brain to move into a place of joy and safety with your partner. When you're laughing with your partner, you feel safe with them.
I'm the keeper of the fun. I think I'm the one who tries to bring, in terms of activities, fun into the relationship.
We have this big thick joke book, and we've been working our way through it. And we usually don't get a belly laugh out of most of the jokes, and then we find one that just really catches our attention.
Sometimes what's fun for one person is not fun for the other partner, and it's important to find something that's fun for both.
So when she's scheduling something to do, she keeps in mind some of the dialogues and information she has learned about me that would be fun and it wouldn't. She's not going to schedule a biking weekend up the mountains and camp at the top when you get there for me, because I ain't going. But a weekend in Santa Barbara in a nice hotel and go see a comedian, that's fun.
Well, a lot of people say that they're too busy to have fun. And I think our response to that would be, that's really too bad. Because fun is, restores and activates something natural in us, like our natural endorphin levels, and gives us a sense of well-being and happiness. And that there's probably hard to make a case that anybody is too busy not to have 3 to 5 minutes a day to experience some laughter.
It is so easy to just fall into the trap of just living your life every day, day after day. Kids and school and work and homework, and you just get in it and you never get out of it.
We think that there's hardly any excuse for not having fun. And in fact, we would prescribe it as a health benefit as well as a bonding experience between partners.
If both partners are working, if you have other family obligations, and if you're engaged in the community in various ways, there can be a tendency to let your personal relationship drift. And one of the ways to avoid that is to schedule time together.
That is like a discipline, almost like a spiritual discipline of taking the time and not letting other things interfere, with that time together.
It's again filling the space between with care and love, which makes it sacred.
What can I do to help you feel loved and cared for by me?
One of the things you do that makes me feel loved and cared for by you is that you come home at the end of the day at a very reliable time. And when and if that ever changes, you're wonderful about letting me know that.
So one of the things that I do that you feel cared and loved by me is that I come home every night at the end of the day at a reliable time, and if for some reason that's changed, I always call and let you know. Mm-hmm. Did I get you? Mm-hmm. Is there more about that?
When you do that, I feel secure, and I feel safe, and I feel cared for. It reminds me of how consistent and reliable my dad was in terms of time, and that when he said he was going to be somewhere, he was there. And alternatively, I had a very different experience with my mom, and a lot of issues with her around time and not being where she said she was going to be. And so doing that makes me feel loved and secure. I didn't have that from her.
And it reminds you of, you said it's got a positive and a negative, it reminds you of how reliable and consistent your dad was in reference to time and saying he's going to be somewhere when he says he'll be there, and the other side of that is the other experience you had with your mother, who was not consistent in saying she was going to be somewhere and not showing up or what have you. Did I get you?
Mm-hmm.
Is there more?
Nope, you got me.
You make sense. And what makes sense is that I can see how that my consistency would remind you of your dad's consistency, and automatically sort of bring up the flip side of that is the inconsistency in your mother's behavior. That makes sense.
Mm.
So I imagine you might feel cared about, loved, safe. Is that how you feel?
That's how I feel. And I feel appreciative.
And you feel appreciative also.
Appreciate that.